April has come and gone, and I spent most of the month playing ARPGs. I played Path of Exile's new patch, Last Epoch, Mandragora, and then I rounded out the month with the exceptional Expedition 33. Now we're looking forward to May, and there are some big titles coming out, and we're going to start with my honorable mentions. Now, these are games that couldn't quite crack the top 5, and I wanted to bring them to your attention anyway, because I think you might like some of them. So we're going to start out with a title that isn't releasing in May, and is not a new title, but is a game getting a significant update, and I missed it in my last month's video, so I wanted to point it out to you now, and it released on April 28th, and that is a game that I've spent a lot of time in when it initially launched, and I think it's an awesome game overall, and that game is V Rising: Invaders of Oakvale. So the new update is bringing a ton of new features to the game, such as a new biome called the Oakvale Woodlands, and with the new biome comes more exploration and more bosses. There is a combat overhaul with new weapons such as the claws, twin blades and throwing daggers, new spells, system changes, stat reworks, numerous new castle enhancements such as a PvP arena and a stable to house your mighty steeds. And that kind of sounded more like Thor than Dracula, but whatever, that big nerd owes me money anyway. So the new update adds a ton of new features to an already great game, and now is the perfect time to jump back in or check out V Rising for the first time. Invaders of Oakvale launched on April 28th. So the next title on the honorable mentions list is Midnight Walk. The Midnight Walk is a first-person adventure game where gameplay emphasizes exploration, stealth, and puzzle solving with mechanics centered around light and sound. In this game, the player assumes the role of the Burnt One, a mysterious figure who awakens from a grave and embarks on a journey through a charmingly dark world. I wanted to point out this game specifically for its art style. I don't think I've seen a game like this before. It has this just beautiful dark claymation look to it, and when I was researching the game, I found that the creatures were actually sculpted in clay first, and then 3D scanned and then brought to life. It looks amazing, and I hope to check this out come Halloween time, so Midnight Walk launches May 8th. Next up is a beta test for a game that I think is going to be pretty big, and that is Dune Awakening. This is an upcoming open-world survival MMO set in the Dune universe. Players begin as a nameless survivor and can rise through the ranks by mastering survival skills, building bases, and engaging in both PvE and PvP content. Key gameplay elements include resource gathering, crafting, building a base, and managing environmental hazards such as sandstorms and sandworms. Spice is the universe's most valuable resource and plays a central role, offering players enhanced abilities and serving as the focal point for most of the conflict in the game. Now, this is a large beta test, so you still have to apply, but all you have to do is navigate over to Dune Awakening's Steam page, hit the apply button, and with a little luck, you might just get in. The beta runs from May 9th through the 12th. Now, the final honorable mention is Blades of Fire. This is an upcoming single-player action-adventure game developed by Mercury Steam, and this is the studio that brought us Metroid Dread and Castlevania Lords of Shadow. In a dark fantasy realm, players will assume the role of Aaron Delira, the firstborn of the King's Ward. The newly crowned Queen Neria has unleashed a devastating curse that turns all steel into stone, and Aaron sets out on a journey to stop her. Gameplay features a deep crafting system where your decisions actually affect the weapon's attributes like weight, length, durability, and edge quality. Combat features a system where you have to target specific enemy body parts, such as limbs or armor weaknesses, as this is crucial for your success against the 50 distinct enemy types. The game boasts 7 weapon families and over 30 unique weapons, and remember, each of these weapons can be customized and crafted the way you want it to be, so this just leads to endless possibilities on the weapons. Blades of Fire launches May 22nd. Alright, so the first game on the top 5 list is Empyreal. This is an upcoming sci-fi action RPG set in a distant galaxy where an expedition discovers a colossal monolith built by a lost civilization. As an elite mercenary, players will explore this gigantic structure, uncovering secrets that could redefine humanity's understanding of creation. The player will choose one of 3 weapon types: the glaive, the mason shield, or the cannon. Each weapon has its own core moveset, giving each its own unique playstyle. Empyreal features a unique blend of RPG systems and skill-based combat, featuring perfectly timed attacks, deflects, parries, and even abilities that gain additional effects when perfectly executed. The game also features a character creator and something called cartograms. Cartograms determine the enemies you face, what loot you will find, how many lives you get, and what elements you will need a matching resistance to, and these are all randomly generated. There are many ways each level is different depending on the attributes of the cartogram you use to access it. Each cartogram also contains an end boss with unique loot, so this will allow players to target farm specific items they are looking for. Empyreal launches on May 8th. So next up is the newest entry in the Doom series, and if you have not played Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal yet, I highly recommend it because Doom Eternal is some of the most fun I've had with a single player FPS. It is just non-stop, and once you figure out the flow of the combat, it just kicks ass from start to finish. I freaking loved it, and I cannot recommend it enough. Pick up Doom Eternal when it's on sale because you can get the base game plus the DLC for somewhere around like $10, something like that. So I would highly recommend picking it up when it is on sale. You're not going to regret it. And that moves us into Doom the Dark Ages, which is looking to slow down the combat of Doom Eternal, where Doom Eternal was kind of described as an F-22 fighter jet, whereas Doom the Dark Ages, the Slayer feels more like a grounded Abrams tank. There is also some vehicle combat where you get to fly and destroy demons on a giant dragon, and you get to pilot a giant mech to also destroy giant demons. So Doom is looking like a solid new addition to the Legendary series, and Doom the Dark Ages launches on May 15th. The next title is one that I'm pretty hyped about, and I wanted to mention it especially with the shadow drop of Oblivion, and this is Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. This is a dark fantasy open-world RPG that is set in a reimagining of Arthurian legends. The game immerses the player in a world where King Arthur is long dead and the island of Avalon teeters on the brink of ruin. Gameplay features a first-person perspective with an emphasis on exploration, combat, and decision-making. Players can customize their combat style through expansive skill trees, engage with over 250 fully voice-acted NPCs, and undertake more than 200 side quests across 3 expansive zones, filled with over 70 dungeons and 60 unique enemies. The trailer looks absolutely sick, and if you were on the fence about picking up Oblivion, then why not try out a brand new game instead and support an original title? Tainted Grail launches on May 23rd. Coming up next is Elden Ring Nightreign. This is an upcoming standalone co-op action survival game set in the Elden Ring universe. In Nightreign, players assume the role of Nightfarers, which are the game's classes, and there are 8 to choose from launch. They are Duchess, Executor, Guardian, Iron Eye, Raider, Revenant, Recluse, and Wilder. The gameplay has the player embarking on 3-day in-game cycles within a procedurally generated version of Limgrave, now known as Limveld. Each cycle spans approximately 15 minutes of real time, during which players must explore, combat enemies, and prepare for nightly boss battles. The game emphasizes co-op gameplay, allowing up to 3 players to team up, but also supports solo play. I have no clue why they skipped over duos. That's kind of a thing that some of these games do. I think it started with Apex Legends or something, but I could be wrong there. But for whatever reason, not duos. I would think it'd be easier to get another person to play, but whatever. Now, Elden Ring was my first Souls game that I played at launch, and the absolute best part of Elden Ring for me, and it wasn't the combat, it wasn't the challenge, it was the open world and the exploration. Now, in my opinion, Elden Ring is a masterclass in open world exploration. I was constantly amazed at how I thought I was going to some off-the-wall filler part of the map, but it was all thought out and designed with a purpose because I would always find some cool weapon or armor or upgrade for my character. It was meaningful gameplay. So with the gameplay loop taking away from the exploration and pairing you with random players, if you decide to play the way it's supposed to with co-op, that these players are going to run as fast as possible to the objectives, and it's going to take away the main thing that I enjoyed from Elden Ring to begin with. So regrettably, this is going to be a skip for me, but I think it's definitely worth noting and having on your radar. So Elden Ring Nightreign launches on May 30th. Now, the final game on my list is Lost Soul Aside, and this is a single-player action RPG, and to be completely honest with you, every time I watch the trailer, I have absolutely no clue what the hell's going on. For traversal, there's 1 minute there's wings, and then you're hopping on some platform stuff, and then you're back to wings, and then a snowboard appears, and all I can tell is it looks very anime-inspired, and the combat looks fast and flashy and fun, and I'm a simple man, so that's basically all I need. So you'll have to let me know if you check it out and what you think of Lost Soul Aside, and this one launches on May 30th. Well, alright, that is my list for the month, and please let me know down in the comments what game you are most excited for, and please consider subscribing to the channel if you're into RPGs, ARPGs, MMOs, and everything in between, because that is what I cover. It's a simple click, but it means everything to me in my channel, and I appreciate it so very much, so thank you in advance. So until the next one, be kind to yourself, be kind to one another, and I will see you again very, very soon. Thanks again. Peace.